ちらルーム303号室です。
Hello, this is Ruang Rupa in conversation at the Room 303 Radio in WPU Shinjuku.
Hey.
Hi.
This is Sari from Ruang Rupa. I'm together with my friend.
Hi, this is Ameng from Ruang Rupa Jakarta. We're now in WPU Shinjuku. Halo.
Nice to be here. It's good to be back. I was here in 2024 and also I stay here as well in the WPU hotel. But now it's very nice that I came with more friends. And we're gonna be having our exhibition in Midori So, starting from the 13th to 17th May. So hope to see you all.
Yeah, I think first we like to introduce about Ruang Rupa here. If anyone hear us now, Ruang Rupa is an artist initiative based in Jakarta, founded in 2000. Before we are mostly art students that join forces before 2000 to create a new space for young artists, not just artists but also youngster to have their own control to create new works, to offer new things, also to learning together how to work by ourselves. During that time, it was after the Reformation in Indonesia, when before like 32 years under quite an authoritarian regime. So that time many opportunities open. We need to fill in the blanks. And here we are already like 25 years as an artist initiative, so-called artist collective.
This year we are 26 even, 2026. Now is, yeah, 2026. Yeah, I remember as Indra just said that after the dictatorship regime fall, there's a necessity to also create our very own space. There are, of course, other spaces that is more mainstream, but then the discussion back then, yeah, how if we have or decentralize ourselves and create our own space, that art can also be collaborative, can also be process-based, that also not supposed to be making object as an output, stuff like that. That's why we create our own space. I mean, just to add Indra. And then after that, we continue to evolve, but basically what is very nice to reflect that we always operating in the like a house situation, not just because it's affordable, but also it's more familiar to us. We can connect easily with neighbors, making friends with them, making connection, and also, yeah, it's intimate because it's in the house situation. That's why when we are here in the WPU, we can also recognize this kind of situation, even though it's a format of kind of hotel, for example. Yeah, like very interesting because, for example, the living room was started from the living room, and then how the living room in this regular house always evolving and transforming. Like it can be exhibition space, for example, can be a place to hold classes, workshops, music events, or even markets or film screen, just to reflect.
Yeah, even we can sleep there in the living room.
Yes, I
During
remember
that time, yeah.
those days. People
Yeah.
can sleep in the library. People can sleep in the, I don't
Office,
know, everywhere.
studio, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, so like in our earlier years, we ran a house in a residential area, and during that time, many uh, young artists, students coming, and we gather there, and the space is become like a laboratorium, in a way, when many uh, individu come from different background meets and sharing their ideas, and the focus is about the cities, is about urban life, about how we struggle in the city. So it can connect also with other people, neighbors, citizens. Uh, many projects that we we built or we developed during that time is talk about the urban life, yeah, the urban situation in Jakarta, especially. Yeah, if you say about Jakarta, is one of the most crowded city, very complex, and also the population is come also from many of background.
Yeah, I remember back then I joined in 2003, I think. Yeah, to organize the student forum where, because there was a necessity for students in the different university to be able to meet, discuss through forum we created, and understand each other work, and then be able to present as well. Like, yeah, after I graduated back then, like as a, it was like I graduated and then I joined the student forum, and then yeah, it looks like extension of school actually. Indra mentioned that people from diverse discipline gathered, and it's organically become like a school through collaborating and also practicing, yeah, exchanging in this kind of living room.
Yeah, and that time when we running the space, first we haven't realized that we just create a space for hangout. Yeah, so it's like quite non-stop
24/7.
24/7, yeah, 24 hours open space when people can come and gather, hang out, and create works, project, or yeah, or just even just playing there. But after a while, we also realized that it's not just creating some works, but also we have to serve our friends, people, and it's become work like a facilitator, like facilitating others, facilitating friends. From that time, the mindset also different because we also have to running the space. We have a responsibility also to take care of others. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting because many of us graduated from art school. We have each of our very individual works, but also our collaborative work. But then, as Indra just mentioned, for example, to become like a supporting structure as well in the same time. So without realizing that, yeah, there are so many roles to be done.
Yeah, like our first year, we already run a residency program. So many artists come, yeah, to this residency program, stay in Ruang Rupa for like 1 month or 2 months, and then creating works. And from that, yeah, we starting that mindset that we also need to facilitate, helping and become a supporting system. So the space also become yeah, like one one place that connect many discipline, yeah, or people with diverse background, not just artists.
But then I think the next question would be how to sustain this kind of space, right? Yeah, and I think we share the same question with other similar spaces too in Jakarta that also have, they try to create their very own space, but the next question, as I said before, how to sustain this, I think.
Yeah, okay. I think we need to have a song before we continue the conversation. Yeah.
Lumayan injak borok, mentang-mentang lo jago, laga lo evertis jenggo. Aduh, ayo dompet gua kecolongan. Balik dah, brengsek gua. Pala dulu kita.
Hi again. Yeah, we continue the talks. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. Hi
Yeah,
again.
the song is from before is from Aka. Do what you like. Yeah. From
Okay.
70s band from Indonesia.
Okay. I'm not afraid. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, connected to what we are trying to do in the festival. Actually, it connected back then to the festival we made. Back then, the first one was in 2003. We call it as Jakarta International Video Art Festival still, but along with how it evolved, then it became Jakarta International Media Art Festival, so to expand the understanding of media beyond video. Even though in 2003 the necessity was to discuss more about video, but then it became Media Art Festival. And in the edition of 2017, the Media Art Festival like trying to raise topics around food. So also it's about expanding our understanding about media, that food is also media, also art, also kind of art practice as well. Also to be able to understand the representation beyond it and how it connected with the other topics around food politics as well, and how it affects the society in general. And then also that's why, when Devo Ahmad was in 2024 discussing about topic around food, we proposed to continue the discussion that we did in 2017 through the OK Video Media Art Festival, that try to discuss topics about food and brought it to Devo Ahmad back then. I mean, our work this time in 2026, continuing the collaboration with Devo Ahmad, also it's a continuation of this process back then in 2024.
Yeah, so it's the project now that we will exhibit here is a continuation of one of a quite long project. Starting in 2017 with OK Video Festival that focusing in issue about food, and then now as we as a collective, Ruang Rupa also already transformed about 3 times, I think. Yeah, we kind of have a period when Ruang Rupa evolve and make like a new form or new structure as an artist initiative. Back then we running a house, a small house, and then we it's around from 2000 until 2015 when we running a house. Then after that we transform into a collective when we ran a big hangar, a big warehouse, 2 big warehouse, when we invite also other collective to join us.
I think it was around 6,000 meters square or even more.
2015, no? 2015.
Gudang
2000,
Sarina
yeah.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 It's around 2015. Yeah. Mid 2015. Then during that time we experiment with a new model of work when we invite other collective to join us, and we got inspired by this practice that actually we already doing it so before. Is we call it lumbung. So lumbung actually is a rice barn when in the agriculture field they store surplus or their harvest into a house, a rice barn, and then after that the surplus are a saving for a community that need to be shared by govern it with the community. So it's a system that already or a practice that already uh, rooted in Indonesia, and we believe so that also many models of this kind of concept or practice or mindset also already being practiced or being formed in other countries or other tribes even, when a community govern their own profit and to share it with others based on necessities or based on the needs. So during this like second period of Ruang Rupa in what we call Gudang Sarana ecosystem, when we running a big warehouse, we practicing it, and this become a method, a model that we're
Continuing.
we're continuing also experiment it, and it's become our protocol, yeah, like a protocol uh, to create or develop many programs or project.
Yeah, I remember it was such a great learning running this kind of space that is very huge compared to our earlier or previous space that looks like a house, of course. And yeah, it also very nice because as I said back then, that we witnessed that in the end it's not only us actually who try to create such space. This is yeah, when we see that in Jakarta, for example, not to forget that there are also other spaces outside Jakarta that try to do the same to sustain this kind of space post the dictatorship regime, out of the necessity to be able or organize our own. And then, yeah, the question of sustainability, it's a shared question actually. And then, yeah, we join forces with several other artist collective or initiative.
So many individuals, yeah.
And so many individuals
Yeah.
also that contributing in this transformative space, the Gudang Sarina ecosystem. If you Google, you can see how crazy big it is. But then at that time, it was the first time where we really pull our different kind of resources, both tangible or intangible. Can be networks, can be communication platforms, for example, can be equipments.
Skills, yeah.
Oh,
Can be
skills, of
yeah.
course, yeah. Time too, programs as well. And yeah, if you live in a city like Jakarta, it's very hard for us to be really mobile because of the crazy traffic jam. And yeah, to be able to have this space that we are sharing, it's more easier for us as well. When programs happen in one shared space, you can easily make connection, collaborate, and understand as well what each other are doing. So yeah, I think that was things that were very nice, if I remember. And then also, of course, the question on economic, how to build an economic model out of this space is also something it's very nice to be experimented too. Like For example, we recognize in this huge space what actually the surpluses that we are having. We of course can have like some part of this huge space for our very own activities, but the rest would be something that we can organize. Of course, like we are renting through to Biennale, for example, or expos, or people, for example, who want to do their events, they can rent our space. So it's also become a way of sustaining this crazy big space. even like running a toilet, for example. Yeah, it's totally different experience when in this small house. Before, maybe you only have hundreds of visitors maximum for your programs, but then in this Gudang Sarina ecosystem, you could host thousands more.
Yeah, it can hold about 50,000 people, during that time.
So can imagine how crazy the toilet could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like the transformation from the living room into like a big compound. It's a big learning for us, that time, and also to work with many again individual, but that's also like the needs during that time when the house that we ran before is. It's already too small to conduct or to hold new activity, especially for youngster, also for young IDs or fresh IDs, because 15 years running that space makes us also already quite old. So we need to open it to more
need
people.
to go somewhere.
Yeah. We need to experiment and try new things. Yeah. So that time we moved to this big space, big warehouse. Then what also very interesting is that time. We kind of disappear, and many new faces, new people come, from that. And one of that also during the Gudang Sarina, we met with this like the embryo, I think, of this what we call Majelis Sayur or vegetable assembly, who now we work with for the project here in Devo Amat in Tokyo. Sampai mana tadi? Oh yeah, I think we talk about the Gudang Sarinah ecosystem ya. So it was a period of from 2015 until 2018. For 3 years we running that big warehouse, and we need also to face new challenge because when we rent the space, yeah, you also have to realize that when things going also quite well, but then the price is rising.
Crazy.
Yeah, so the price is
Cannot
rising.
afford.
The owner of the space, which is also it's like a kind of a government unit business. They raise the rent, and then we cannot afford it, and then we need to move. So that time the space is quite in the center of Jakarta. Mm,
Very expensive
yeah.
place.
Oh yeah, to talk again about yeah, if anyone here uh, yeah, never been to Jakarta, or don't know about Jakarta. So the city is have a population around about 20 millions people, uh, crowded, and that time one of the aim when we uh, yeah, running this warehouse to make like an art compound. It's also to one of the ideas to compete with commercial space like malls, shopping malls. So when we have this cultural art space, that time we like to compete when there's an art space same big at the center. But yeah, of course, it's difficult to realize. So we can only have it for 3 years, and then we have to move to the more into the south part of Jakarta when we found a new space, yeah, and we experiment again with a new kind of form, like Sari said before, uh, the the idea or always the what we think is how to sustain the practice.
Yeah, but what is nice this time that finally, even though it's not in the central anymore, which maybe we need to celebrate today even because turns out it's nicer and greener and everything. And also still very intimate with neighbors, etc. And then, yeah, was always precarious back then because we're not owning the space, always jumping between renting one house to another and then to this big warehouse. Because also back then there are so many empty space, even the large one that's not being used. So why not we are using it? But then we cannot afford it in the end. But such learning, lots of experience, experiments. Why not, or how to share this kind of experience to other who also try to do similar things or the same things. And finally, when we moved to this area that we call as Jagakarsa area, it's in the edge of the south part of Jakarta. Would be next city after it, that it's not Jakarta anymore. And then we be able to buy this land. Was a former football court, like indoor football court,
Yeah.
which is very
Futsal,
nice.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Futsal ya,
yeah,
namanya ya.
yeah. Futsal is indoor football.
Indoor football place, yeah.
Mhm.
And then still we like share the space with other initiative, collective, younger than us, much younger than us. And then yeah, it was very nice. And we shared the question, for example, like how the experience of running the very big space, the Gudang Sarinah ecosystem, this many learning, many experience, many experiments. How can we share to other? And that's why that was the first time we start to discuss about creating a learning platform. We call it as Good School Collective Study Program, where we invite other younger space, other initiative, collective organization, not just in Jakarta, but also in other city who struggle to sustain their work as well and space. Basically, to be a platform for us to be able to share what we learn. And yeah, not just a one-directional learning platform, I think, because even though we already now 26 years old, we need to always continue learning. So the school, the Good School Collective Study Program, the informal school that we are initiating, it's also a way for us to still be relevant, because we also need to learn from other practices, other spaces. How is their strategy for sustaining their work, their space? And also because we are in Jakarta, even though we are all of us located in Indonesia, but Indonesia consists of so many islands, and surprisingly for us, it's crazily expensive to visit other islands. So a bit contradictory, I feel, myself at least, because as artist I can travel a lot to other countries through residency programs, for example, or exchanges, but there are no supporting system from our government for us to be able to exchange and communicate with other artists in other island, for example. It's hard to understand what they are doing, what they are concerning about, what is their challenges, and yeah, what they're trying to do actually in their localities. So this Good School Collective Study Program, the learning spaces that we are initiating, become a way for us to understand and learn from each other and hold conversation, I think.
Yeah, it's a learning platform that we open for young artists or so individual or collective to join us. So it's like informal school when artists learn how to work collectively. So the focus is collective studies, how we work as a collective. Yeah, it's a project based when
Process based.
yeah when yeah it's a process based uh, when some individual artists who like to experiment or who like to try or challenge uh, their ideas to work
Questions.
or questioning with joining or with sharing resources with others, yeah, by working as a collective. It's already like what 5 6 batch, yeah,
Six,
until
yeah,
now
six
6 batch
batches.
until now since
18.
2018, yeah.
Yeah, first batch.
Yeah, so it's already like 6 batches, but now the six now the six we call it s- uh,
Six pack.
six pack, yeah, the name, yeah.
Yeah,
Or no, they created the name.
they created the
Yeah,
name.
so it's collective of collective when 6 young group from different island, yeah, join, one from Lombok, one from East Sumba, yeah. Mhm. One from
Larantuka.
Papua, yeah. One from Makassar, from Sulawesi, not from South Sulawesi, and one from Jakarta. So there are 5 collectives who join these collective studies now, and it's already like 2 years, and this this collective will present like their what like final uh, year, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they'll be doing their harvest festival. That's how
This July,
we call it.
yeah.
So celebrating the harvest of learning and exchanging. Yeah, and also the process was like the five of them. This six-pack collective of collective. They firstly stay in Good School, our space, and then yeah, basically to be able to meet and yeah, it's kind of first encounter, and then they return back to each of their localities, and then plannings. So the discussion continue happening in the digital sphere, and then to make plans, basically, yeah, for finding resources to be able to visiting each other as well. So yeah, to have a more tangible experience, sensual experience of these different places and what they're trying to do actually.
Yeah, and again, it's us continue again as yeah, as a supporting system, yeah. So we're trying to create this yeah uh, ecosystem
Mm.
within this Good School. So now I think we will be in our last yeah session to talk about the Devo Ahmad project this year. So it's a continuation, like Sari said, of the 2024 project that's starting with research of urban farming practice in Tokyo, and for this project Ruang Rupa we collaborate with
Majelis
a group of Majelis Sayur. It's a vegetable assembly in our neighborhood in Jagakarsa, because Jagakarsa is like a green area in South Jakarta, so they have a quite space that still can be
Yes.
useful for farming. Yeah.
Yeah, in Good School, so we are not just running the Good School Collective Study Program, but it's an ecosystem in itself, actually, with many different practices working in there, collaborating in there, in Jagakarsa, where Good School is located. So there are practices, for example, working with kids, children, or practices working with the radio platform, like where we
Yeah.
are now. We call it Ruru Radio. And then there's a still media art department, for example, or student forum.
And we have also what we call it good site. So it's like yeah, like a compound of 25 studios there. So artist residency or artist studio is there, bookshop, canteen, and there is this group yeah, what, barber, no, salon, a salon, yeah, a tattoo shop, and also there is this group called Selarasa Food Lab.
Yeah,
So they run also like a shop that
in Good School.
in Good School can distribute also like product, yeah, from local farmer
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
but not just that, but also some of what, business unit, yeah, local business unit around that create like yeah
They-
merchandise or souvenir, yeah.
They made like a cooperative as their legal entity just very recently. Yeah, since we moved to Good School in Jagakarsa, this Selarasa Jagakarsa Food Lab, they actually many participate in the OK Video Pangan
In
OK
2017, yeah,
in
before,
2017.
back then, yeah.
Many of the individual participated in this media art festival. So after that, they continue making their very own collective. Very interesting. That's what Indra mentioned just now, the Selarasa Jagakarsa Food Lab. And then since we moved to Good School in Jagakarsa, they actively make a relationship with many small scale farmers that try to enliven the many idle lands, let's say, in our neighborhood. And yeah, but these farmers, they never really met or connect with each other or having conversation. So it's very interesting because they kind of propose this kind of space of gathering. They call it Majelis Sayur, the vegetable assembly. So yeah, it's for these farmers to be able to have like a rhythm or moments to come together and discuss, exchange, and also even visiting each other garden and maybe yeah, exchange what each other more knowledgeable about, etc., etc. So yeah, with this Majelis Sayur, the vegetable assembly, yeah, they're practicing for quite a while, and also, I mean, I can relate a lot their experience with our experience running gardens, like, yeah, running gardens, and there are so many knowledge and experience. So that's why the initiative that we are trying to support this time is about, yeah, how this can be translated or appreciated as school, all this learning and experience. So we, yeah, for Devo Amat, we try to discuss and formulate together what kind of curriculum would that be, and that's what we in the end. Yeah, it's not a final.
Yeah, it's still
It's still in
ongoing.
ongoing process, but
Yeah.
what we are trying to share in this Devo Amat is actually the harvest, let's say,
Yeah.
what we are having until now. And then also we collaborated with Hiroshi Ito. Hiroshi Ito is also our collaborator in 2024. He also studied about agriculture in Kyoto University. And this time he collaborate with us, trying to research or identify what kind of platform or practices or attempts that try to work on topics around sharing spaces, in Tokyo context, but outside the logic of privatization. So how to see space as not something we should privatize, but something that actually we should share. So that's why it become like real assets outside the logic of the real estate company. Like real assets according to them may be different, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, the exhibition will be open on the 13th, like also the starting of Devo Amat Festival. Our exhibition will be showing at the Midori Dotso, but also of course because now we get also support from WPU here that we staying here, and we will have also program here in WPU. So there are exhibition, but also we will hosting some activity. Yeah.
Yeah, Midori Dotso is a lot. So ours would be
Midori Dotso Nakameguro.
Nakameguro.
Nakameguro. Yeah.
So thank
Because
you so
many,
much.
yeah, they have, yeah. So yeah, in Wednesday, yeah, it's on Wednesday. On Wednesday,
It will be open.
the opening, and then we will have a program here also in the WPU launch on Friday on the 15th from the afternoon. Yeah. Yeah, and we're having Sunday pop-up market on the 17th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would like to say happy birthday to WPU, happy third
Oh, yeah.
anniversary.
Happy 13th anniversary. Yeah.
And thank you for hosting us.
Thank you for hosting
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Please also sometimes come back. Please also please also if you have time, come to our space in Jakarta. Would be lovely to host you as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you 303
Thank
Radio.
you.